So let's get started with your BPPP Baron flight training experience. After a thorough pre-flight briefing, it's out to the Baron for the pre-flight inspection. There are a few unique Baron-specific items to look for. Let's review the special pre-flight inspection items on your Baron. When you and your front seat passenger enter the cabin for your inspection, or any time for that matter, be careful not to accidentally move the fuel selectors out of position. It's possible to step on the selector controls as you settle into the front seats. You'll check the selectors again during your before takeoff checklist, but be aware that you or your passenger might bump a handle enough to interrupt the fuel flow. Most Barons have a thick plastic carry-through spar cover under the pilot's seats. The manual landing gear extension hand crank is behind a plastic box that's Velcroed to the cover. During your pre-flight inspection, remove the cover and ensure that the hand crank is both stowed and accessible. By stowed, we mean that the hand crank is folded over as it appears here. This disengages it from the landing gear transmission, so the crank does not spin when the gear goes up and down electrically. By accessible, we mean the handle of the hand crank is free to be folded over into the cranking position. It's apparently quite easy to install the plastic carry-through spar cover so that it covers the handle portion of the manual extension hand crank. We see this quite often. If the hand crank is not accessible, you would not be able to extend the landing gear manually if it would not go down normally in flight. The heavy plastic spar cover makes it impossible to fix this in flight. So when it's the first time you've flown a particular Baron, and any time you pick up your Baron from the shop after even minor maintenance or inspections, check to make sure the hand crank is both stowed and accessible before you fly. As you walk around the airplane, check that the trim tabs are all secure. Also, the nuts holding the trim actuator to the elevator trim tab must be tight on Barons. During your exterior inspection, you'll check the fuel at no less than 6 points, 3 drains per wing. Some Barons have more, under the fuselage, or near the wingtips. Your BPPP instructor will show you where to find the drains on the Baron you fly. A vital, but often overlooked check on Beech Barons is to check the uplock roller bearing on the aft side of the main landing gear brace. The bearing must be well greased and able to spin. If the uplock roller is not able to turn, the landing gear will retract, but it might not extend. You must also check the uplock springs, the big horizontal spring and the little vertical spring under the uplock cover, and the uplock cable. Both springs and the cable must be attached and intact for the landing gear uplock to function properly. One of the nice features of the Baron is that, with just a little effort, you can completely open up the engine compartments for inspection. Be sure to fully secure the cowling doors when you're done. Similarly, be sure to secure the nose baggage compartment before flight. There are 2 hooks that engage brackets to hold the nose baggage door closed. They may rotate and not fully engage when you close the latches. After closing the door, check to see that any paint stripes line up smoothly and that the door is flush with the nose all around. If the door is not flush or the paint stripes don't line up, the door is probably not secure. There's a lot more to look for during a Baron pre-flight inspection, but what you've seen here are the unique Baron items. Now that you've confirmed your Baron is ready, let's go fly.